He said, so you want to make sure that your people are introducing people to a person to explain this in a way that makes it an easy decision to make. He said, Kelton, I know what you're probably thinking, and your wheels are probably turning right now. But let me keep you on track from a business sense so you don't get stuck being a product salesman, software salesman. Okay. He said, although there's a place for consideration of the product of the business, Kelton, if you want to get wealthy to the point you have time and money freedom, you need to convey the product of our business with an investment mindset. I said, explain that, Bob. He said, no problem. Show people how to get a return on the investment into our product and video distribution business. See, that's our advantage over YouTube and the average person or company that uses video. See, they don't have a platform that distributes video through channels like a cable company or a television network. Our advantage is just like LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, our platform leverages people who are getting paid through the free channels of emails, social media inboxes, and smartphone texts while communicating more effectively at the same time. For example, let's say a person with a nice and fun business, or a person looking for something to put cash into that's no risk and all reward, buys the concept I just described to you, and they value the business of the product. So they invest $14.99. Well, an investor wants to know how the cash flows, right? I said, sure do, Bob. He said, okay. All you have to do is show them that the difference in picking the pro package to earn over 10 times more money from customers over the same time frame that they would over the $99 video email only package, and over 5 times more money from customers over the same time frame than they would over the $249 video suite package. So that way, they know how to make their best decision. Which usually only comes down to timing. So now we see why we're doing this business and why we have the best product value. So now let's look at the ultimate value, creating an income with it. You ready? I said, coach on, Bob. He said, now the first way we get paid is called a fast start bonus, which is also known as a commission on the sales we personally make on a product package that someone buys when we refer them to the leader who explains the product and the business for us. I said, okay. So when they purchase one of our product packages, we earn 10% of the amount they pay, and we get the money instantly within 3 minutes of the sale. So for every $99 video email package you sell, you will earn $10. For every $249 video suite package you sell, you'll earn $25. And for every $1,499 pro package you sell, you will earn $150. So this is the first way we get paid. Remember, Kelton, when we discussed that if the 9-to-5 way of making money or the sales and service provider way of making money pays you $50,000 a year, that would take 40 hours a week of your time. And if you wanted to make $100,000 a year, that would take 80 hours a week of your time. And if you wanted to make $200,000 a year, that would double to 160 hours of your time. I say, yes, Bob. You said that's the worst type of income to earn because it creates no wealth because you are limited and restricted by time. Right. Because as an employee, you're trading dollars for hours. And as a self-employed person, you're trading products and services for dollars during hours, right? Right. Okay. Even if you never slept, the maximum number of hours you can earn on per week is only 168, isn't it? I said, I remember that, Bob. He said, okay. Now, since you have a desire to become wealthy, Kelton, what did I teach you and coach you about your compelling purpose in life? I said, let me look over my notes. Okay, here it is right here. You said to become wealthy, I have to renounce, abandon, and reject forever the 100% off of one way of making money and commit, embrace, and make it my life's economic purpose and ministry in society to compel anyone that earns their money by trading time for it, or anyone trading their talent or products or services for it, to build a team income from the 1% off of 100 way of making money. So that means I need a team income because that creates leverage for me. He said, you got it. So let's look at the second step in this compensation plan, Kelton. He said, Kelton, in sports, they have what's called a coaching tree. Now, your Talk Fusion business is set up as a binary tree. So you start by building two teams, one on the left and one on the right. I said, I got it. He said, Kelton, if you treat our business like a sport, it will pay you like an athlete. So a coaching tree is a visual representation of the relationships between coaches, showing how one coach has influenced another coach. So it's a structure that includes the other coaches they have mentored and who have become successful coaches themselves. Then the mentees pass on their knowledge to future coaches, creating new branches on the tree. And this process can continue for generations. So when you personally make two product sales, one on the left and one on the right, you have laid the proper foundation for a binary tree. Now, binary means two. Got it? Binary is two. I said, okay. He said, now you are qualified for team commissions based on having one on the left and one on the right. Now, Kelton, let me show you the pattern of how this is built. I said, you know, Bob, God values patterns. He said it about 6 or 7 times in the Bible. Bob said, well, isn't that something? But the way he said it was like he didn't really know, but I know he knew. Here we see how the tree begins from the very first two people you sign up, Kelton. One on the left side, beginning of a team, and one on the right side, beginning of a team. Now, when that foundation is laid, that's the first part of the pattern called team builder, which means you become qualified to earn team commissions. Now, in this example, based on the pro package sales, you earn $300 in your bank account within 3 minutes based on a $150 commission on those two sales. Now, if they were video suite packages, it would be $25 for each one of them. And if they were 2 video email only packages, it would be $10 each. So here you earn either 300, 50, or 20. Now here's the question. By way of these team commissions from the team builder position, how much of a percentage from the points accumulated by products purchased called personal sales volume, or PSV, that comes from not only those first two people we personally introduced, but by the group sales volume accumulated by all the people after those first two personally introduced people in multiples of 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, and so on and so on. I just don't have enough room on the screen to write out all those circles. But to unlimited levels, here's the question. Would you want 10% of that total amount or 20% of that total amount to be paid to you by team commissions? I said, I see why you're a billionaire, Bob. You love to ask no-brainer questions. 20%. He said, here's another question. Does LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram pay you for the people connected to your content? I said, no. Bob said, whoop, there it is. He said, Kelton, in this example, there are 1,000 group sales volume points accumulated from products bought on the left side of the coaching tree, and 2,500 group sales volume points accumulated from products bought on the right side of the coaching tree. So what the computer does by multiples of 100 sales volume points is match that 1,000 group sales volume points on the left with 1,000 of the 2,500 group sales volume points accumulated on the right. Now, 10% of the paid group sales volume of 1,000 points is $100 paid to you, and 20% of the 1,000 group sales volume points is $200 paid to you. Now, whichever one you qualify for, based on either 40 points or 400 points from your personal sales, the computer pays your bank account within 3 minutes of the calculation, and the remaining 1,500 unpaid sales volume points from the right gets carried forward. Does that make sense? I said, yep, it makes sense. So let's try one more. In this example, there are 5,000 group sales volume points accumulated from products bought on the left side of the coaching tree, and 5,000 group sales volume points accumulated from products bought on the right side of the coaching tree. Once again, what the computer does by multiples of 100 sales volume points, it matches that 5,000 on the left with 5,000 on the right. 10% of the paid volume of 5,000 points on the left is $500 paid to you instantly. And 20% of that 5,000 points is $1,000 paid to you instantly. And the computer would pay your bank account within 3 minutes of the calculation. Got it? I said, yep. Bob, once again, that's simple money math, sir. He said, Kelton, since we want to earn 20% of the sales volume of our team commissions, in order to meet those one-time qualifications of 400 personal sales volume points left and right, based on our personal sales, the math is simple. Since we know that the sales volume points earned is 40 points on a video email only package, the sales volume points earned is 200 points on a video suite package, and the sales volume points earned is 600 points on a pro package. Here's the question. Would we rather it take 10 personal video email only sales on each side of the tree for a total of 20, or would we rather it take just 2 video suite sales on each side of the tree for a total of 4 combined, because those packages earn 200 points each, Or would we rather it just take one pro package sale on each side of the tree for a total of just two combined? I said, I'd rather it take just two or four rather than 20. Bob said, a smart man has a smart plan. Bob said, okay, Kelton, now that I've shown you the first step of our instant pay in 3 minutes compensation plan, which is you earning fast start bonuses from the initial sales of the first two products, and I've shown you how to calculate the points that you get paid on in the tree, known as sales volume. Now I'm going to show you the second step of our instant pay in 3 minutes compensation plan, which is how the team commissions are paid on those points. This means we're starting to earn from passive sales volume. We're earning income by the 1% off 100 people way of making money, just like the Rockefellers or Warren Buffett, instead of the 100% off of one person making money, like the 9-to-5 workers or the independent contractors do. You ready? I said, ready, willing, and able, Bob. He said, now remember that we learned that team commissions mean being paid based on the points from two sales equaling one commission? I said, yes. Now, no matter where that sale occurs on the tree, left, middle, up, down, or right on either side, the computer calculates each side by increments of 100 sales volume points or higher. By the side of the tree with the lesser volume, so let's say this side, everybody was buying video email products. You know, the $99 one time and $10 a month, that's 40 sales volume points. But over here, people were buying the pro product, which is 600 sales volume points. So from this initial person and this initial person, 4 more people bought. But let's say they all bought the highest package over here, 2,400 points, and the lowest package over here, which is 1,600 points. So the lesser volume leg is this one. So what it would do, it would pay out on 1,600 points. So 1,600 points would be subtracted from this 2,400 over here. So you would be paid on 1,600, and let's say you were paid 20% of that. That would be another $320. And the remaining 800 points left over would carry over. It would stay here until matched by another 800 points over here. And then 800 times 20% would be another $160, I assume. My math is correct. So you've been paid 300, you've been paid 120 from the first two. Then from these other 4, you were paid another 320. Is that right? Plus this 160 from the 800 points left over. So 120, 320, and 160 $600 in team commissions, even though you only made 2 sales yourself. But the thing is, none of this can be predicted. See, why is the other side of the tree called the bank leg? And the other side of the tree is called the power leg. Well, the lesser volume is called the power leg. And the higher volume tree of the tree is called the bank leg, because the bank leg matches the amount of money in the power leg. I said that's easy to understand, Bob. Okay. Now, let's talk about how we also get paid on recurring income. What is recurring income? I'm glad you asked. It's the third step of this compensation plan. Now, the business builders and the customers both provide recurring income. So Bob said, Kelton, the renewal of monthly subscriptions to the product earns sales volume points just like the initial purchases of the product. This way, you continue to get paid on that sale even after you've done the work once. That's what recurring income is. It's like a spring-loaded faucet in a public bathroom with the button always pressed down so the water keeps flowing. Now, the point values on monthly subscriptions is 25 points on the Pro and Video Suite packages, and 5 points for the video email only package. So here's a no-brainer planning question, Kelton. Since we now know we need a minimum of a combination of 100 sales volume points, left and right, to earn the 20% of that amount on team commissions, as well as on monthly plans, the question is, would we rather it take 8 combined people, 4 right and 4 left, or 40 combined people, because it's 20 left and 20 right? I said, I'd rather it only take me 8 combined people than 40. Bob said, once again, a smart man with a smart plan. Now, at this point, God started talking to me about patterns again. He said in Exodus 25 and 40, see to it that you make everything according to the pattern shown you on the mountain. In Hebrews 8 and 5, it says, the place where they serve is a copy and shadow of what is in heaven. This is why Moses was warned when he was about to build the tabernacle. See to it that you make everything according to the pattern shown you on the mountain. Here's what God is saying. Notice the difference between leaders whose network has followers in it and leaders whose network has leaders in it. Leaders whose network has leaders in it explode their growth because not only do they have leaders in their network, but the leaders of those leaders and all those followers. So think about that by the spirit of leadership during the rest of this presentation. Bob said, here's the pattern, Kelton. Kelton, you build this for the person listening to this. In other words, the person with the credibility, the relatability, introduces you, the top leader, to the people he knows so he can leverage your ability to explain what we do. So let's look at the pattern of team builder to team leader. Two people that find two people. Now, each one of these second two people, what do they want? They want the top leader to do for them what he did for the first level two people, which is find them two people, which is get 10 hours a week contributing to their incomes. Which is 1.6 hours a day, by the way. Which is 20 hours part-time contributing to their incomes on the first floor, 40 hours contributing to their income part-time on the second floor, 80 part-time hours contributing to their incomes on the third floor, which all based on 10 part-time hours from these first two team builders is 140 hours a week. Worth of time, even though you only contributed 10 part-time hours yourself. Now, the way this perpetual money machine functions is like a contractor constructs a building. Meaning, the process of this pattern is just like assembling a 6-floor building. Now, each floor are team builders of team leaders. Now, this essentially develops at 3 different rates. A once a month rate for slow and no momentum, a once a week rate for standard momentum, or once every 3 days or 72 hours for exciting momentum. Now, the rate at which this perpetual money machine is built depends on the ambitions and aspirations of each person, their coachability, and understanding the human nature of people. The good news is that's another lesson for another day. But here's a hint, Kelton. You ever heard of the California Gold Rush? I said, yes, Bob. And then I started thinking about my favorite football team, the San Francisco 49ers. Bob said, well, that training is called the Diamond Rush. I'll teach you that next time, because this is where I teach people what they ought to know about this business, like a franchise guide. I said, franchise? Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to that lesson. He said, okay. Now, as this pattern happens, you and everybody else who want more hours contributing to their incomes get wealthier by leveraging the work of the top leader, in this case, which is you, who builds it for them. Why? Well, most people that aren't a professional at building a house hire these contractors to do it for them, right? So how much do they pay contractors to build their house? I said, way more than a $1,500 pro product, Bob. He said, good answer. He said, so from the very outset, based on how much money you want to make with this, how much is your time worth? I said, way more than a $1,500 pro product, Bob. He said, once again, great answer. So I'll teach you how to calculate how much your time is worth later. Now, let me ask you this, Kelton. Would you rather, A, talk about software and features and functionality and have that working for you, yourself working for you, or B, talk about this pattern, so you can get 10 hours a week, a person working for you. So you can have all the money you could ever want and all the freedom of time to enjoy it because you have many hours contributing to your income. Now, before I could answer B, Bob said, now, before you give me the obvious answer, let me remind you once again your compelling purpose in life, if you want to become wealthy, is that you have to renounce, abandon, and reject forever the 100% off of one way of making money and commit, embrace, and make it your life's driving purpose and ministry in society to compel anyone that earns their money by trading time for it, or anyone trading their talent or products or services for it, to build a team income, to rescue them so that they can earn from the 1% off 100 way of making money. Got it? I said, yes, Bob, got it. But this time I noticed two different words he used to describe our compelling purpose. He said, rescue them. From the grind of a 9 to 5 or from being trapped in sales. So then I looked at the pattern again. And you know what? I thought about what Moses said in the Bible, which was this: